Every day, no matter what time, when you pick up the remote control and turn on KCTV 5, we're on the air. So, what does it take to run a television station 24 hours a day? Well, for instance, KCTV 5 employees are responsible for producing almost 4 hours of news each day, transmitting 14 hours of CBS shows per day, and coordinating nearly 6 hours of syndicated shows every day of the year. And don't forget about the staff that it takes to sell commercial time, promote the shows so that people like you tune us in, help reach out to the community through public service, and of course, pay the bills. Anyway, let's talk to some KCTV 5's managers and find out more about their departments and what they look for in an employee.
We're fortunate that our business is attractive to a lot of people, and it should be because it's a fun business to be in, so that we will find people who have some experience, but really that attitude is what's going to make the difference and what has a chance to set you apart from someone that you come in, you got a little experience, we can train you and teach you the rest. Teaching somebody the right kind of attitude is difficult to do, something we have not had any success at, so we try to get them coming in.
The best way for somebody to get into our news department is to do an internship through a local college or university. We haven't ever set that up as the formal way of it happening, but if you look around our news department, and we have as many as 74, 75 people in our news department, many of them started as interns, and as we got to know them as interns and determined that they were capable of doing a good job, we spent more time with them, and then when a position opened up, we ended up hiring them. And to me, that is the best way to get your foot in the door at a television station.
The engineering department provides technical services for the entire television station, and primarily that's dealing with the electronic equipment, everything from videotape recorders, switching equipment, transmitters. My staff does both the maintenance of that equipment as well as operating that equipment. So basically we're the last ones to touch the product technically before it goes on the air.
Nowadays, the entry-level job at a television station, by and large, is in the production department, because there are a number of oddball shifts, such as very early morning or later in the evening or noon, that only require somebody to work a few hours. And so you tend to hire part-timers to fill those positions. For example, a Saturday and Sunday morning shift doing our newscast there. Those are the entry-level jobs. And the secret, once you get an entry-level job, is to learn all you can over and above your regular duty. And that's where we're making most of our hires, from people right out of school or people trying to start up in the television industry.
When considering an entry-level position in the sales department, we look at several things. Well, let me give you an example. Currently, we have an entry-level position available, and it's quite frankly the first time that we've had this situation since I've been here. We traditionally look for people that have experience in the industry, and specifically Kansas City market experience, because that's much more important than just general experience or the ability to sell commercial time and to understand that industry. We need specific industry, specific market knowledge, and strong relationships with our existing clients and the agencies that we work with. But in this particular situation, we're looking at an entry-level position which we envision, as a matter of fact, we have a job description that spells out that this is a person that has recently graduated from college and has not necessarily even been in the workforce yet. I have visited with professors at the local universities. When I say local, I'm talking about Midwestern universities, and asked them to submit names to me of potential applicants or account executives that we might talk to, potential account executives that we might talk to. I'm looking for somebody that has a business background, a business education, marketing expertise, if you will, maybe some finance. Accounting is beneficial. Broadcast sales, some of the universities now are offering broadcast sales specific courses in college. That's very interesting. Journalism students are good, but not necessarily in our department. Although they understand the function of journalism, it takes them a while to get up to speed and get a sense for what it is we're looking for in our industry, which is the flow of commerce and return on investment, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say, generally speaking, that we're looking for a business background from school.
Duties of the department, the county department that is, have to do with basically all the financial aspects of the station. We're responsible for the cash disbursements, the cash receipts, the one that pays our invoices. We prepare financial statements. We have responsibility for credit collections is a big part of our job. We do budgets, monthly forecasts that the corporation requires. And besides just the accounting duties, we're actually a business office. We have other responsibilities for office services, such as we handle the contracts for lawn maintenance, janitorial services, plant maintenance inside the building. So there's more things involved than just accounting, even though that's our primary duties.
A typical day at any local TV news department absolutely can be like what you see in the movies or on television shows. The difference is it doesn't necessarily happen every day. If a breaking news story occurs, it can get incredibly hectic around a television news department. It is not a place to be if you don't like a lot of energy, if you don't like people yelling, if you don't like working real fast and real quick and real hard, because that's when it gets to be like the movies or like television shows. It can get very hectic. But if you enjoy that kind of atmosphere, television news is a great place to be. It doesn't happen that way every day, but it certainly happens.
When I'm hiring for our department and I'm in charge of promotion and production, one of the key skills that I look for is communication skills. I need somebody that can talk. I need somebody that can communicate freely and openly with the people that they work with. This is a communication business, and I think that it makes for a good workplace when there's a good spirit of communication amongst people behind the scenes. So that is at the core of the individuals I hire. And when I interview people, that's what I look for. I may ask them questions that have no other purpose in the interview other than to see how they handle it and see what kind of response they can give me that helps me gauge their ability to communicate.
Some of the things that we look at or look for or search for when we're interviewing, dealing with the makeup of a potential employee, is we start with the heart and one's spirit. And the president of the broadcast division of Meredith, Phil Jones, is very keen on this. So we emphasize constantly, and I might add that our entire department is very keen or focused on this as well. We look at somebody that's motivated, that has a fun-loving spirit, that can be part of a team and participate in a team atmosphere. Basically, you know, from the book, Everything You Need to Know You Learned in Kindergarten, something to that effect. People that are well-mannered, that have a sensitivity to other human beings, that are good listeners, that understand people's problems and can deal with them. People that have a smile on their face and a winning attitude, and being intelligent doesn't hurt either. That's basically what we're looking for. We're looking for good people that we can give a playbook to and say, here's what we do. Let's take your attitude, your upbringing, your habits, and fold them in with this playbook and see what we can do.